This is Dolynny TV, guys. A big welcome back to another discussion hole. Oh my god. Crap. I forgot my toque again at work today. So, well, do I have an Oilers hat within reach? No, I don't. Either which way, we're going to get right to today's topic for some Oilers discussion on Dolynny TV, guys. A lot has been made the past couple of days, right? We had a feeling after that Dallas game that something was going to give with Cam Talbot. Here now it has, as Cam Talbot is more than just on the trade block, right? I think 100% Cam Talbot is being shopped, right? Somebody is getting calls about Cam Talbot. His name's Peter Chiarelli, and now we're starting to look at what becomes of the Edmonton Oilers goaltending situation. I've talked about this already about 18 days ago when I put up a video why Mikko Koskinen should be the Oilers' new starting goaltender, and now I kind of have to come back and revisit that based on what Koskinen's done since then, and based on what Cam Talbot's done since then, and also based on kind of what the Oilers overall are looking like. Of course, stay tuned. Tomorrow I'm hoping to have about 3 videos out. Of course, like have a discussion, then the preview, then the breakdown of the game tomorrow after the Hockey Night in Canada game against the Vegas Golden Knights. However, we're today and we're discussing why the Oilers don't need to trade for a goaltender at this point, right? Yes, I will admit at some point this season we are going to need to trade for a goaltender. That's without a doubt. I'm not saying next week we don't need to trade for a goaltender. Right now, at this current moment, on current pace, the Oilers do not need to trade for a starting goaltender or a backup goaltender, whether you be shipping Cam Talbot out and getting a backup for Mikko Koskinen, or whether you be designating Mikko Koskinen the backup and bringing somebody in. The Oilers don't need to do it because, and here are a couple of reasons. I think I've got 5 reasons actually. I actually somehow thought this video out for once instead of just stupidly rambling. I'm still going to ramble. You guys know I'm going to ramble all day. Look at me go right now. But it is as simple as this. Mikko Koskinen. How about this? Reason number 1 is all Mikko Koskinen himself. I've already pointed this out a couple of times based on, like, yes, my starter video, yes, this and that. But Mikko Koskinen has come in on, here's the kicker. This is kind of the numbers, right? I'm going to break down the Mikko Koskinen numbers. And the big one is $2.5 million. I talked about this yesterday in my videos. The KHL's best goaltender, in my opinion, since 2013 to 2018, signs in the NHL for $2.5 million. Mikko Koskinen, Big Finn, I mean, he's just a beauty. Just an absolute beauty, right? Mikko Koskinen, monster, 202 pounds. Like, this guy is a monster in net, but he is as athletic as you can be. He's lucky. He's uncanny. It's good to be Mikko Koskinen right now. Now, the numbers that I'm talking about, I already talked about the $2.5 million contract. How about 11 games played? 10 of those were started, right? He did come in relief for Cam Talbot at one point. A 2.26 GAA. That is pretty much mirroring his worst season in the KHL since 2013 at a 2.42. So he's right on or below career pace in the KHL. That's huge for him. And now the other side, too, is 9 wins, 3 losses, 1 overtime loss. Cam Talbot, good go. Good work, buddy. Great work. Great work by Cam Talbot. As I get logged out, that's classic. Of course, that's going to start happening today. But either which way, guys, the big thing here out of Cam Talbot, or out of Mikko Koskinen, pardon me, as I lose my train of thought because my PS4 starts glitching out and I lost the light that I was using to light this shot. Right? I said 7 wins. Pardon me, I think I said 9. Where did I get 9 from? I don't know what I was getting. Sorry, 7 wins, 2 losses, 1 OT loss. There's the numbers. That's the numbers I choked up. Pardon me. The big thing there, 924 save percentage for Mikko Koskinen, okay? Those are the numbers for Mikko Koskinen. I don't need to explain that any further because I've already wasted my time on Mikko Koskinen and the numbers. Reason number 2, the Oilers don't need to trade for a starting goalie or a backup goalie at this point. There are a lot bigger needs to be addressed than goaltending based on reason number 1. Obviously, number 1 reason next to Mikko Koskinen and the numbers he's projecting is, of course, the defense. Yes, you know what? I'm a fan of what Clefbaum's kind of stepped up and done in the past 5 games under Ken Hitchcock. There's no denying that. But that's the Oscar Clefbaum we were supposed to get how gosh dang long ago, boys, right? Okay, so Clefbaum, wipe him clean. He's good. Adam Larsson, well, it depends which Adam Larsson you see on the ice every shift. Do you see the Adam Larsson that makes the 2 or 3 gaffes a game? Yes, he's gotten it down to 1 gaff a game under Ken Hitchcock, which is pretty impressive. But still, I think 3 out of 5 games, it's led to a goal in which Adam Larsson's gaffes. So obviously, as a top pairing defenseman, I think we could do better. And that's what I'm saying. The needs on defense, we need a number 1 or another number 2 like Oscar Clefbaum, because then one of them can take the reins and run as number 1, then the other, when they fail, kind of step up, right? So the needs on defense, the Oilers need to address before they address goaltending based on Mikko Koskinen and his numbers. So obviously, if you're going to trade, you're going to trade Mr. Cam Talbot to get that need filled, right? It's as simple as that. Now the dogs and the cats are going crazy, pardon me. It's a scrambly afternoon here on Dolynny TV. Number 3, needs up front, right? Okay, so needs on defense, we've addressed that. Needs up front. Yes, Tobias Reeder will be back. Yes, Ken Hitchcock is planning on using Ty Rattie in the top 6. But I'm sorry, you know what? I don't think Ty Rattie is a top 6 player under Ken Hitchcock this season. So essentially, now you're already looking at, well, Ken Hitchcock, in my estimation, isn't the head coach of the Oilers after this next season. That's what everybody's telling me. Well, guess what? If that is the case, then Ty Rattie probably isn't a top 6 player after this year, right? So now is ripe the time to use Cam Talbot either on defense or, like I'm saying here, in a trade to get somebody up front for the Oilers who can play second line minutes and has the ability. This is the thing, is it's not a guy who has a hot hand and just needs a few extra passes to bury more scoring chances. No, we need somebody who has the ability to consistently play with McDavid, right? We know Draisaitl. I would love to see Draisaitl spend the next rest of the season on the top line with Connor McDavid. He's a perfect left winger for Connor McDavid. Leave it. Get somebody, when Chiasson isn't doing it, who can play with McDavid. Honestly, yes, that's going to be a far stretch, but I'm not looking for a bona fide top line sniper. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a bona fide second liner who makes $4 to $5 million, right? We're replacing Cam Talbot's contract with a similar contract, and you get rid of somebody else in the system, you're good, you're gold, and bang, guys. Like, get somebody who can elevate his game and who can play consistent on the second line. You get that, you're going to be gold. Tobias Reeder back on the second line with Nuge and this guy. Damn rights, boys. The Oilers looking fancy. So that's why the Oilers really don't need to trade for a starting goalie when you have needs on defense and needs up front to be addressed first, in my opinion. Yes, earlier on in the season, I was saying trade for a goalie, please. We are doomed without one. But Mikko Koskinen and his numbers, right? I'm going to keep going 3-2-1, 4-2-1, whatever. Back to point number 1 on Mikko Koskinen. Now, when you're talking about trading for a goaltender, this is something I haven't addressed yet, right? I haven't addressed about talking trades for a goaltender. You need to get best value for a starting goaltender. And unfortunately right now, as it stands, the only real goaltender that I think everybody can agree will be on the move at some time this season is, of course, Mr. Sergei Bobrovsky. I think that's, if we're going to have unanimity amongst hockey fans, we can agree on Sergei Bobrovsky. Now, are you going to get the best value for shipping Sergei now as the Oilers? Or are you going to get it at the trade deadline when there's a little bit of a crunch? In terms of goalies at the trade deadline, I feel I like my chances better at the trade deadline than I do in November, right? Because, you know what? Everybody estimates the Oilers are just a good defenseman and a good goalie away from a long playoff run and a long tenure in the playoffs over the next few years. So why, as the Columbus Blue Jackets, knowing that you might be able to do something if your team gets hot and your team really gets going, and keep Sergei Bobrovsky and then maybe extend him if he really likes what he did for the rest of the season, why would you trade him now to get good value, right? You know what, yeah. But also, for the Oilers, they may ask you to give up a lot knowing that he is going to benefit you so much. So checks and balances kind of with Sergei Bobrovsky. That's why I'm saying leave it closer to the deadline. Even if closer to the deadline is January 1st or February 2nd, whatever. Just move it closer to the deadline this year and we should be gold. Now, point number 5 as to why the Oilers don't need to trade for a starting goaltender. It's as simple as this. Honestly, if we're going to trade Cam Talbot, it comes to a Cam Talbot trade. Trade Cam Talbot. We don't need a backup. We don't need a starter in return for Cam Talbot because we have Al Montoya. You can say what you want about his AHL numbers, but Al Montoya is kind of a steady Eddie back there as a backup in the NHL. Obviously, you can't run him out there 25 games a season anymore, but you can give him 6, 8, 12 games down the stretch the rest of the way should you trade Cam Talbot 5 minutes from when this video is released. But you don't need to trade Cam Talbot for a backup goaltender or a starter. Guys, those are my reasons as to why the Oilers don't need to trade for a starting goaltender. I hope you consider, if you're new to the channel, subscribing. And B, definitely, hey, hit me up in the comments section down below. What are your thoughts? Am I correct? Am I bad? I don't know. I need you to double check me, fact check me, whatever you want to do. Hit me up in the comment section below. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I am up on out of here.